Welcome. Good evening. Welcome.
Come on, let them say ya. Come on, let them say ya. Daddy, my business, you catching fever. Getting serious like empty river. Ain't no stopping by the river. And as we coming, we sweeping, we cutting, we moving all the way. Yeah. We coming, yeah. We better start be coming. As we coming, we sweeping, we coming. And then when we meet obstacles, we better start be coming. Yeah, you coming, yeah. We coming. We better start be coming. When the year is been checking you again, cause you come on. We coming. We better start be coming. We coming. We better start.
Well, let me say good evening to you, our viewers. Sorry, Paul, for that interception. It was some finger trick and finger mistake. But Paul is in Studio 2 in London, and I'm in Studio 1. So we coordinate. If I'm not on, Paul can switch on. And so I was just in the process of doing something, and then Paul came on. But Paul, let me say welcome to you. How is your evening?
Well, good evening. Linford, my evening is not too bad, and it's good to be on. It's just that if you hear my voice going because we had a death probably in our family this weekend. My beautiful cousin just she want to give birth and she died in childbirth. So it had took a little toll on me, but apart from that, I'm thinking I'm okay.
And was that in Liberia?
This happened right in Liberia.
But on behalf of the Bottom Line crew, let me register our condolences to you and the family and all of your relatives. I know what it feels like. I'm a victim of it. When I lost my first daughter in 2010 in a sin childbirth, and she and the baby had to go. So I know exactly what it feels like. And mine was at a very, I know no death is timely, but it was very untimely because, I was a student at the time in school. Imagine sitting for test like tomorrow, doing my
Wow.
final review, and then getting the news like around 7 o'clock in the evening. And,
Mhm.
and I totally collapsed, and I know exactly what it goes like. So, on behalf of the Borderland crew, we like to register our condolences to you and the family. I saw the picture. I saw the post, and it's disheartening. But again, we can't question God. God knows why. But sometimes some of these things happen as a result of our failure, or when I mean our failure, the failure of the system in which we live.
Absolutely.
This is Liberia, and since I've been in Norway, I'm not at the hospital all the time though, but everybody that I know was pregnant, delivered safely, and including my own family, you know, and even at the hospital during the birth of my first son here, we were at the hospital for complete 3 days. Complication, we were there for 3 days, and every woman that was there delivered safely. The second one, the same time, we were there about 2 weeks. Uh, Again, every woman there that I saw were pregnant, delivered safely, and and these things are the things that we talk about when it comes to bad governance. Where just recently the American government released a statement that the money that they give for hospital, or the budget allocated to hospitals and clinics, that money is not reaching the people. So can you imagine how complicated? And Paul, your situation is just one of those.
Mhm.
Many things that happen in Liberia. So, like I said, we stand with you, the family, and you know nobody can get used to death. All you can do is, first consider that okay, it is me that it happened to, so you got to accept it.
Yes, that's true. That's true. And we thank you for that, Lynn. For it's just how it usually
It's
when
hard.
I travel to Liberia, uh, she's my favorite cousin. That's the one I stop with all the time.
Mm.
Even when the rest of the family don't know that in town, she's the only person I will with. Well, I will signal that I'm here and then I'll look for her. Yeah. So the
Yeah,
she
but
passed. Then the baby he survived. She had a boy. The boy
oh
survived. Yeah. So it is what it is, and
yeah.
it's God will. So we can challenge it. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Well, that baby is a great baby. He's a great boy. He's going to be a great man, born in a difficult situation. He's going to be a great man
Yeah.
by the grace of God. But we let us say good evening to all of you, and the bottom line will have a new schedule. Fast forward from today on, we're going to be coming on this same time. That's 9 o'clock Norwegian time, Central European time, 8 o'clock UK time, and 7 o'clock Liberian time. And the reason for that is we're going to be hitting the radio soon in Liberia. And so we want our viewers to get used to that so that by the time we all set to hit the radio, it's not going to be a strange thing to you. So tonight is practically like a practice night for what we'll be doing for the radio. And Paul, would you like to tell us exactly when we start hitting the radio in Liberia, how many hours we're going to be going?
Well, to start with, we're gonna have next Tuesday will be our starting date to be precise.
Oh, that's a week from
And
now.
yeah, a week from now. So we'll come on 7 o'clock Liberia time, 8 o'clock UK time. I think it's 9 o'clock the Norwegian time, Central
Hmm.
European time.
Hmm.
And it's for 1 hour 30 minutes to start
Wow.
with. So that's and as we go forward, there will be a weekend slot that we'll also have, which will also have the 1 hour 30 minutes. But that is all still in negotiation. But I can confirm to you the contract has been sealed. So officially will be on the Real Power Read FM, the base in District 17 in Broadway, and
Mm.
will be reaching out to 9 counties. So
Wow.
just to say, so we will be rolling and we will make our voices heard in Liberia. People will push the agenda and will be different to compare the three front runner, their agenda, and who best suited this time to lead Liberia. So those are things that we'll be looking. And the panelists going to increase their Mark from Sweden will also be joining. Jamal will be off and on as usual, and the ladies too will join the program. So we're looking forward to spreading ABC message in Liberia. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Great. I think it sounds good. And so the team is set from our side. The team is set. That's a borderline team. We are set. All we were waiting for was the final the finalization of the contract between we and Red FM. So I think, like Paul said, everything is set, and Peleman say the whole flower finish, just remain the money business. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? You see the Peleman when he love to a friend, well, they go discuss it. He say, "I'll pay the money." He pay you, but he promise say, "I'll pay money," because they used to say when you lost to somebody more, they can charge you. I know $10 long time ago. So he said, "The whole." So when you asking your friend asking, say, "Man, how the flower?" He say, "Well, the whole flower finish, no remedial money business."
The money.
They had a flower feeling that. So we'll be hitting the airway in Liberia soon, like Paul said, and so. But tonight we're going to look at a post analysis of Mr. Cummins's address to the nation recently, and we're going to be dissecting it. We're going to be looking at some of the things he said and giving our own views on it and comparing it to what others have been saying. And so those are some of the things we'll be looking at tonight. But just before we go into it, we want you to help us to share the show. So we're going to play our usual song by Takunji. And during that time, we will be sharing the show. And if you join us in the course of that time, you can also help us to share the show. My name is Linford Goy, and of course, Paul the Lord. You see him there. Is in the UK. And Paul, when we come back, you're going to be telling us a little bit about that program that you'll be attending as a lot. So
Okay.
putting your ass together. And so here's talking to you.
My people, where you at? Where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping. Whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your. Come on, come on, come on. I know you're sleeping now. You gotta wake up some more, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie. The people fool us, oh. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not go. I said we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that led us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to beat? You see, we just tell you. That's why we vote tell you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie. The people fool us, oh. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not go for us. No one to trust. My people, no one to hope on. Nobody. My hope that I have been broken. I'm telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they say they could afford? But they're too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, then instead they delay. People suffer. No work for people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie. The people fool us, oh. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the for us. We tired with their promises that led us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to beat? You see, we just tell you. That's why we vote tell you. But you fool us. You screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie.
So welcome back. That was the the voice of Takun J. I love this guy's music. And for the last time, I promised that we were going to get in contact with Takun J at some point. to host him because we're not supposed to be doing politics here. We're supposed to do some human interest because can you imagine that the music that Takun J made a few years back, he didn't know that this music was actually going to depict the picture of the government of today. Probably, I don't know, maybe he thought about it. So these are some of the things that we need to talk to him for. Did he imagine that when he was making this music some 4, 5, 6, 7, I don't know how many years ago, did he ever imagine that this government that came to power, which is George Weah's government, would be the exact picture presented in that music? So I think if anybody has contact with Tagunche, please try to connect us to him. I don't know him. I haven't talked to him before. And these are people that people overlook. I remember one time when I said it, somebody wrote and said, President a smoker or man who doing drug like attacking Jay, you want to bring him on your show? No, listen, we need to talk to everybody. Everybody is kind of important. He may be whatever he is that he chooses to be, but the music that he made, this music is very, 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 very meaningful, and it just suits the occasion of the day. But Paul, that's the next assignment we need to be working on. Probably if we know anybody who can lay hands on Takun J, he can connect us to him and we can bring him on the show. But Paul, I promise you that I'm going to ask you about the program that you'll be attending as a Lord. And how did Paul Cholope from Liberia, of all places, how did he become a Lord in the Great Britain? Tell us a little bit.
Well, thank you, Lynn. First of all, I want to say good evening from my end to our audience. For those of you who first time follow us, kindly click on the like button or follow us. So when we come out, you automatically be notified. And also kindly share the show because we'll have very interesting topic tonight. Help us share the show. Yeah, how did I become Lord? Live for many years, I worked with a Liberian community organization here called LASSO, and it was actually a sporting organization that we had, and this we established it back uh, years back when we were playing for Chelsea, and
Mm,
he one of the founding member of that organization. So instead of playing football and having fun every time we meet up, we decided to support an orphanage in Liberia.
right.
And during that process, I don't know if people can recall, there was an orphanage on the Rawafi, how we call Love a Child Orphanage. And the organization became a charity organization, and we started supporting that orphanage. We actually bought a land and then started the process of constructing a school for those kids that were orphans. So based on the humanitarian work that we're doing, then during the Ebola crisis, I was able to work with a team of people from the city mayor of London. It was Boris Johnson, and there's a guy who used to work for the former mayor Ken Living School called Lee Jasper. They got in contact with me to work on the Ebola project to supply items to Liberia and Sierra Leone. So
Mm.
based on the humanitarian work that we've done over the years, we were recognized by the British Empire. So that how the Lord Cholope came about, being advisor to one of my good friends, King Charles. And his inauguration is next Saturday, which I will be, the coronation is next Saturday, which our Lord Cholope will be participating to see my good friend King Charles become the
King
king.
Charles, you're
Yes.
gonna attend a coronation.
Definitely. So the Lord Cholope will be at the coronation to see his good friend King Charles become the King of England. Yes, so that's how it came about.
Okay, well, let me say welcome to all of our viewers once again. Chadela Brown Chilople and my own friend Mona Mona. Mona, one day you gotta come on the show here and teach me how to pronounce her name. Mona Klepla. And then I just love this name. it always wakes my spirit up. And let me say welcome to my piggy and good friend also, and my political rival, uh, Tiger. It's not Tiger Wood. It's another type of Tiger. a very weak Tago. He's not a strong Tago, we're a very weak Tago politically. But he's Ohaji Tago, uh, and he's here watching. Ohaji, we hope you share the video and stay with us. Don't go, because we'll be discussing interesting things here. We'll be dissecting Mr. Cummings' speech yesterday. And no, it was not yesterday. Was it yesterday? It was, yeah, yesterday, Sunday. Oh, no, yesterday was Monday. For some reason, since yesterday was holiday, I keep making today to be Monday. But here we go. So that's what we're going to be doing. And so welcome again. Paul, what's on your mind? Just before we take off, what's on your mind? You are muted. Okay, let me go with what's on my mind, then I'll give you opportunity to come
go.
later.
So before you announce, let's just tell our audience, those that with us, the reason why our time have changed is that going forward from now, we'll be on Real Powered radio station in Liberia starting from next Tuesday. We'll come on the same 8 o'clock UK time. That will be 7 o'clock Liberia time. We'll be on Real Power radio station in cover 9 counties. So starting from next Tuesday, we'll be live in Liberia, and we'll ask our viewers here to kindly share our link to their chat rooms. Yeah, so when we comes on, we'll come in with a lot of topics, and we'll have interesting people coming onto the platform. So next Tuesday we'll be on the radio station in Liberia. And also there will be a lot of activities starting from the 27th of May. The UK ANC chapter will be having a meet and greet activity here in London, and all of those in the surrounding Ireland, France, and those that want to cross over, the flyers will be displayed later on as we go forward. So this will also on the online radio. The bottom line, we have an app. You can download the app. It's 24/7 online radio. You can also find us on Twitter. We all over the place. So going forward, the bottom line is growing. Kindly help us share the show. And thanks to our viewer for being with us. Flo Linford.
Okay, thank you very much. And let me welcome my own boy, Patrick Colley. He's way there, I think in New York or somewhere around there, somewhere around New Jersey, New York, or Philly. But and okay, yeah, my boy say we are in the opposition block, and whether GMB, Omen GMB, or Mr. Cummings, what we want is we want Mr. We are out, and that's the point. So let me tell you, in the political game, will rough shooter will do a lot of things. Last election, I was supporting GMB. Now maybe next election, I might support another person. But you got to present a good platform to take me away from Mr. Cummings for what he has now. So that's it. But you know, it's all about Liberia, like we usually say. So let me say welcome to Nathaniel Sorbo. I think it's your first time here, if I'm not mistaken. That we asked you to share the video, and he's watching from Pennsylvania, Harrisburg. Okay, and so I asked you earlier on what was on your mind, but you turned out giving an announcement, which was very, very good. And that announcement, I think it was very timely. But tell me, what's on your mind?
Well, what's on my mind? Firstly, I would like to say I had a tragic death of my cousin in Liberia who want to give birth, and she died in Liberia. I think a lot of you might have seen her photos circulating around the internet. And sadly for the family, we just lost our beautiful sister. And that's that one thing I was devastated over the weekend. But as going forward, man, sometimes it's all about life. So what on my mind today is Mama Liberia, and I hope that as we get closer to election, which is I can say 4 months to go, people should now see reasoning why to vote the right people in. It's not about this government thing in Liberia. Let's look for the right person who can take us from the mess that we're in. So that is what on my mind, and I think we'll then later on look at what Mr. Cummings said yesterday, we need to also see what sort of message he's setting to his people. Yeah, that's what on my mind. I know
Okay.
Marie Matsekwa is on the background. She might be joining us later on.
Yeah. I see Mary.
When she's ready, she'll signal.
But let me also say welcome to our own friend and brother John Taiwe, all the way from Ireland, the Irish man. When I was in the UK, when we see the Irish guy, we know straight away they talk, so we know a foreigner. we consider them foreigner. But John, welcome. We got to spice the program up with some fun. But what's on my mind is very short. What's on my mind is 2023. We are in 2023. Come October 10, let all of us say, all Liberians say goodbye to George Weah. That's simple. That's the only thing on my mind. And this is a message to all Liberians tonight. Mark in your diary book. Let's say bye to George Weah. We've given Mr. Weah enough time. We've given him what he wanted. And at least we did not deny him. As for people, we give it to him. Now it was left with him to do what he could do, but he did what he could do anyway, because nobody can do better than they can. Marie, you want us to let you in, but you are not on cam, so you got to check your camera and make sure that you are on. But Paul, a lot. Yeah, we hear you, but we can't see you on the camera. So you got to check your camera and stuff like that. But Paul, let's the past few weeks, things have been happening. The first bigger news out in the air was, when is JMB going to name his running mate? And Liberian people, when something happened, everybody, that was the topic of the town. Both opposition and citizens were making me laugh. They running, when they play, they want to know JMB running mate. I said to say it's in their interest. If JMB gave his running mate, it's not going to be in your interest, because it's going to be like, bringing somebody that will be contesting against you people, and they were all inside it into their neck. Bam, 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 bam. Last Saturday, JMB gave his running mate. Everybody must shut up. Nitina, then everybody now talking. When coming with him his running mate, I said to say coming and somebody were contesting. Coming is contesting for the election, he's not contesting for naming running mate. So, and coming, what you know about Mr. Cummings is that he always takes his time to do something slow, man. He's a quiet, going man. But when he does it, it's fun up. And it's not going to be a lot of noise around here after Mr. Cummings names his running mate. It's not going to be a lot of noise like how people are making noise about Prince Johnson presenting Jeremiah, in fact, hijacking the Unity Party and taking over and making Jeremiah the VP by fire, by force. Okay, but yesterday, one of the biggest things that happened was Mr. Alexander B. Cummings, chairperson, the standard bearer of the CPP, deliver of speech. And just before we go further to that speech, let me inform the Liberian people. Mr. Alexander Benedict Cummings is not running on the ANC ticket. So if you go to vote, do not look for ANC on the ballot. He is running on a CPP. C as in Charlie, P as in Papa, and another P as in Papa. CPP. Mr. Cummings is not running on ANC ticket. So don't go in a ballot bar. You be looking for ANC. When you see ANC, then you go back Joshua. No. CPP. The reason why Mr. Cummings is not running on ANC ticket is that the ANC and Liberty Party, in fact, there were 4 parties, 2 withdrew, so 2 are still there, and they formed a CPP. So when you go look for Mr. Cummings, the man wearing the glasses, look for him on the CPP ballot, not ANC. I guess that announcement has gone through. Also, he gave his he gave a statement yesterday to the nation, and among other things, he talked a lot of things. He highlighted the failures of this present government, and then also underscored the need to get them out come 2023 October, this year, October. Eunice Gibson, welcome, my own sister, and we hope you share the video and make this place your home. So, Paul, I guess you listened to that speech and you got some excerpts from it. So if you wish and have the time, you can roll it, and then our listeners can listen. I guess there were some people who did not listen, and they can have a chance to hear it, and then we can begin to dissect and break it apart.
I think what we do, let flow, because it's loading and it's taking a while to load completely. And I
Okay.
also want to acknowledge people who have just said sorry and condolence to them.
Mhm.
Thank you all for that, to help us, and we watching. Thank you all. Yeah, so
Okay.
you can
Yeah,
go
yeah,
ahead
yeah. Let me
while it's
welcome
loading.
Joseph
Yeah,
Contour.
yeah.
Joe Contour has been with us for a while. Every time we on, he will come on, and I admire. But later did I get to know that Joe Contour is from Bon County, and then I saw him on one of his podcasts, and he was speaking Pele. Then I said, okay, wait, let me sharpen my Pele right here. So I listened to him, and his Pele sounds a bit different from mine, because I think they're from the lower Bon County side, the Sanoye area or something like that. Because I heard his root is somewhere in Sanoye. And by the way, I've been to Sanoye. That's a very beautiful historic town. I've been there during the wartime when we used to be based in Totota. So those were the areas where, when the hunger was actually rough, we used to go find food to eat. And when we went to those places, Sanoye, Benkoma, Bakulkuyata, all the places when we went there was always something to eat. So I know Pong County well, from upper to lower. And so, Joe Control, I let me say welcome. And it's good that you are with us. So, you see, uh, we are in a situation in Liberia. And anybody who knows the definition of a situation, it is eventual condition, events that break our eventual condition. And that's why we're in Liberia. Okay. That we oh yeah, he's from Bongomo. Okay. And that's in the Southern area district. Okay, but I've not been there before. But so this situation we in Liberia, God will not come down to give us a solution. We as a people, as Liberian citizens, are the ones who put ourselves in the situation, and we are the ones who can find the way out of this situation. And so, I hear people, maybe God will bless us. My friend, do not put God to a test that he will not answer you. Not that he can make it, but he will not answer you. Because God gives you the opportunity to decide good and bad. And when you choose bad, you don't expect God to be in that camp. If you choose good, because God has already told you what to do, that's why he gives you brain. So he will be there with you. But you don't put God in a situation like you look at a burning fire, you throw yourself inside and say, God coming to move me from the fire. No, it will not happen. So we put ourselves in this condition by electing George Weah. All the way we gave you a warning in 2017. We said this mayor, he get coming from the football field, all the football dust stay on his boots. The man not qualified, the man even take by all the sweat to stay on him. You will not put the man in the chair, the man in the job. You say, oh, the ball get a country at heart. Now the ball tell the country playing a high lucky or you don't get a key. Then you start crying all over the place. And so you got to make a wise decision in this coming election. And how do you make a wise decision? Listen to the candidates. Put your life before yourselves like a mirror. Look in your life. I was here 2005. Then Ellen Johnson came to power to 2017. 12 years. What happened to my life? Look at the history of your own life. Put your life like you're looking in the mirror or you got an open book. So compare your life. And then after George Weah took over, the man who you say had the country at heart, then you ask yourself, say he took over, what has happened to me? What changes have taken place in my life? And then you make all the comparison. Then you add another 6 more years, that is starting from 2024 forward, and say, the other page of my life is still blank. What will happen to it? In addition to what has happened already. So what's going to happen to my life the next 6 years, 12 years forward? And then make that decision. And how do you make a sound decision, my friend? It is by listening to each of the candidates in the race. Let me tell you, all of the candidates in the race, from my own judgment, they are all nice people, all Liberian people, all respected people. Everybody in the race is a Liberian. qualified like me. I can join the race today, I'll be qualified. Whether I'm poor or rich, once I meet the criteria and join the race, I meet the criteria set by the Elections Commission or the Constitution, I'm qualified. And in everybody, there's some little good somewhere. No matter how bad a person is, there is some little good. But ask yourself, how good is that good in that person's manifesto to affect your life positively in a way that you want? Somebody will tell you, say you need road. Yes, you need road. Paul, when you just say, yeah, let me know. I'm just talking to our people. Yeah, you need road. But ask yourself, you need road, yeah? You live way in my brother Joseph Conto's home, Bogomu. But the quota road going there. But all the people in Bogomu, they don't have car. So how does that benefit them? So you don't have car, and half of the people in Liberia do not have car because not that they don't want to own car, but they can't afford. No job, nothing. They are not employed. Okay, so you plant all your cassava, you're planting your everything, you take it in Bogomu, you pull on your head, start working with on the quota road. So that how does that quota road benefit you? None. Then somebody will say, oh, you know, and I will bring experience to you. Yes, experience. Good. Ask yourself, what type of experience? Because experience comes in different way. You get good and bad experience. Everybody in Liberia get experience. Me, I get plenty of experience. Rosalind Dix, welcome. Abraham, Karhini, John, welcome. I hope I pronounce your name well. Karhini or Kahin. Okay. And Samira Pratt, welcome as well. And so you gotta weigh all the options. You gotta weigh all of the options. Listen. Do not just jump behind one candidate and say, because everybody's going behind this candidate. Do not jump behind Mr. Cummings, because everybody's going behind Mr. Cummings without listening to what Mr. Cummings has for you, or without evaluating what his plans are for you. Do not jump behind Omecho Bwaka because he got experience in being government for all the years without evaluating what his long-term experience can do for you. Experience is one thing, but what can it do for me? Do not jump behind Mr. Tyrone Gonglo because he get a broom sweeping. Okay? Ask what he can do for you. Do not jump behind Mandela Cooper because she's one of the ladies. I don't know if there are several of them. Ask what she can do for me. Do not jump behind Jeremiah Wapo because he comes from the most populated county in Nima and say, oh, because everybody says Nima will win, so I go behind Wapo. No, you cannot dissect. No, listen. They think what God gave all. Go and get punished, or this is not load that God put on our shoulder for us to carry. It's not a load. It's something to direct your decisions, your path. What is good for you and what is bad for you. Some people will say, oh, my other heart told me, who told you get two heart? You got only one heart. But what's talking to you? What's talking to you in the background is your conscience, it's not your heart. And that conscience is what helps you to make decisions. So, like I was saying, in this election, it's not about who the most popular person is. It's not about who is rich. It's not about who everybody knows. It's not about who been going for all the years. It's not about who just coming yesterday. It's not about, you know, who have been giving you money. It's not about anything. No, it's about Liberia first, then about you. Let me tell you, there is something called self-preservation. The poor people say self-preservation. It means taking care of your own life. Taking care of your own life. Because the thing is, let me give you one example before we go further. If you, your wife, your children, your man, your pa, everybody, you're in the canoe, you're crossing the water, then the canoe capsizes. You love all your people, your wife, your children, everybody, your man, pa, you love all of them. How will you save them? You drown first. You allow yourself to drown to save your loved ones? No. You will allow yourself to die before you save your loved ones? No. You will first of all try to save your own life. Go, Mary, can you mute your microphone, please? We're getting some feedback. And your camera is still not working. So you have to save yourself first from this water. Even though your loved one are all getting drowned, but you have to save yourself first. When you save yourself, then you'll be able to save all the people you love. That is the simple explanation of what a bold man, what people call self-preservation. Keep your own life. To preserve means to keep your own life. And that has big meaning. That is, you got to take care of yourself. You got to care for yourself. Some people always say, among all my children, I love myself best. And that's the simple meaning of self-preservation. Love yourself before, because the power say, love other people, love yourself like you love other people, or love other people like you love yourself. Because if you're not supposed to love yourself, the Bible will not tell you to love other people like yourself. So in loving yourself, you got to care for yourself. So you can't say, oh, and I'll vote for Mr. Weah because Mr. Weah built for the nine condominiums. On earth, tell me, how is Mr. Weah's for the nine condominium contributing to your life, to your survival, to your children's life? You go, you stand, you look at Mr. Weah's for the nine condominium, you worship them, you swallow your spit, but guess where you're going back to go sleep? In so anyway. Augustine Font say, welcome. Then you go stay, you worship them for the nine condominium. There at the end of the day, you go lie down in so anyway, all the mosquitoes, but the mosquito they sit on the wall waiting for you. You know, I used to live on the freeway, got off the freeway, I lived now for complete 2 months. And I never forget in my entire life, the mosquito that are in our house. If you capture all of them, you can follow a whole plastic bed, the market plastic bed in my room. I mean, I can't sleep. My little brother, I would light the candle and be killing the mosquito. So that will kill more than 1,000 mosquitoes a night. That's the best way to kill a mosquito. Because when I saw you sit on the wall, just carry the candle, or it will come inside. Or the wind will point to foreign. We never used to sleep. So you live in that kind of life. But you go and say you vote for Weah because you built for the condominium. How does it benefit you? Ask yourself. How does it benefit your children? You're getting old. What preparation are you making with your children for them to be able to take care of you in your old age by worshiping Mr. Weah's condominium because he built Jamaica Resort? He said, "Early man built Jamaica Resort. Early man built small road. You walking by land. They have means of transportation. You got a keke or motorcycle, but you vote for somebody who built one piece of road. You know how much when the man built a small piece of road, you know how much money in your pocket? The other money that went in your pocket could send you to school, educate you, and you'll be able to buy a car to drive you on that road he built. But your lifestyle remains the same. But you can worship the man. You say, oh, no. I tell you, the man pay wire school fee. No. Then he say college education are free. College education are free. But ask yourself, how will you get to college? When you pay from kindergarten to high school, you pay school fee. So you can afford school fees and you drop out before you drop out in kindergarten before you even reach elementary school or junior high school to high school. You will drop out. So how will you be able to get to college to enjoy that fun? Ask yourself. It doesn't make sense. The country I live in is not heavy on earth, but it resembles heavy for several reasons, which I'm not even prepared to go to, but I'll give you one or two. So we're dealing with education, our own education. Let me tell you, in the school, in the country here, you pay for your kindergarten child. You pay like $300 for one kindergarten child. So if you get two children in the school, you'll pay $250 instead of $300. So you'll pay for the two children in the kindergarten, the soul will be $600. But because by the fact that you get two children, that will reduce it to what? $250. So they're taking a whole $250 more because it's 600. Then you pay only $250. So they're taking on $450 because you get two children. If you get three children, it will even reduce. Can you imagine? And they do that because the people working in the kindergarten will have to take care of the kids. Then the moment your children reach 6 years old, compulsory, they will enter children's school, what we call children's school or elementary school. Zero tuition. Everything, they got everything free. They get capable. The children in first grade, they get computer. I'm not boasting. I work in the school. They get computer. You go on the computer all on the floor. The children. Okay? I mean, first grade children get computer. Can you imagine with all the programs in there? The teacher not ready on the blackboard. They get a blackboard, computer blackboard flush in the wall. Okay? Where they get right with your finger, you can write with your finger. Or they get a pen for it, you can write with it. You not no duster, you're not erasing nothing. Yeah, when you finish writing, a teacher finish writing, on you get some small button, you press it, all the erase. If you want to see writing by, you can press this, another button will come by again. Those are the things we're talking about. Then up to junior high school, no tuition. Up to high school, no tuition. The only time we pay tuition in the country when we enter college. This is where most of us get all the high student loan that are killing us. Because it's open to you. You can do PhD. The money is there. They will not deny you. You want to take PhD, but you will pay back. It's killing us. But at least we enjoy that. So you get out, you say you're giving free tuition, where to college? How will the children who pay school fees, who can I afford, will drop out before they even reach your high school? How will they enter the college? They will fly over all the school fee and go enter college and get free tuition. This was bad policy. But my colleague Paul is back. Paul, I don't know if you're ready, but I was just laying the premise for our people that when they go to vote, let them vote on principles. Vote based on what the person policy say it will do for you. Don't vote for somebody who is popular. Don't vote for somebody who have been there for long. You say, we know the man. Come in, that stranger. How can you call another Liberian stranger? And the same people talking, they taking that children living in America. Then they say, when you go to America, then you buy. When you come back, you stranger. Okay? And let me tell you, the stranger will respect you. The stranger will treat you good because they don't know your weaknesses. But the people who have been living with for long, they know. Where you like? You like back or right? You like popularity. So they'll say, yeah, popular. Don't matter, they'll vote for me. It's not get it. We'll see what I'll do with it. Eh? The people who know you, they know how to treat you. But the person that does not know you, the person that does not know you will know how to treat you. You will respect because he doesn't know you. But the people who know you, Paul, tell me something. After I talking.
I really enjoy your lecture. I guess you've been a classroom teacher for a very long time, so you
Oh
really know
yeah,
how
our
to
teaching,
narrate a story.
all
Yeah,
kind of people. Our teaching
yeah,
day school and next school, teaching the student people in the barrack. Can you imagine standing in front of
yeah,
captain and teaching it at the age of 21? That was
yeah.
tough for me,
Everything you
but I made
that
it.
man, everything you said that is true. And I guess my president, he's on his way to London. He should be arriving here today. So
Mm.
I don't know the purpose of the visit, but we'll be waiting to see what maybe he's going to get another $50 billion from the British government because the last time he traveled, he promised
Mm.
he told the country that the
Now you're getting
Qataris gave him $50 billion. So we don't know where that money was coming from. There's no here, no tea of that. So maybe when he leave from here, he might be carrying maybe that's 100 billion to Liberia. So we never know. But
But
having
you
said
say no
that,
here, no yeah, you flow. You say no here, no there. Remember, long time Oliver Molu say the man can go pay for money when you bring it, take it. So maybe
right.
the man got that money, keeping it.
So the 50 billion, that's a lot of money because that 50 billion that Qatari is supposed to give Liberia, I mean, who could be the next Dubai on the planet Africa, to be honest, with that kind of money. So just think about it. It's not a small money. If you get 2 billion, it can change the whole of Harper City. Then 50 billion, that's a lot of money. So I don't know the purpose of his trip. Usually they always keep the citizen in dark. So I don't know. Maybe King Charles will
You know,
give him 500 billion to take back. We
maybe
don't
he coming
know.
for the program for the coronation of King Charles.
It could be because it's actually next Saturday. So if he coming for a week either before that, then I don't know.
Yeah,
Our tax
but
will
my
be paying a
man,
lot of
try
money.
how you sit down with our president, man. Sit down and tell King Charles that this is my
I don't
president.
think the president want to see me because I'm not in his camp now. So he kind of angry with me. When you're not in their camp, they get very upset with you. So I
Okay.
don't think he want to see God and
But
me. And,
there is something making me laugh here. I said me and my brother used to kill at least 1,000 mosquitoes in a night. For he said, maybe it's not like, but man, maybe they bought it. You never lived in that kind of place before, where all the water around the house, you can go in the water to go in the house. I mean, you enter the mosquito, no, open the door, the mosquito is knocking you already. It's not joking. You know, try one day when you live in that kind of place, you know what I'm talking about. But so Paul, are you ready with the video?
Well, the thing is, let me see if I can post something out here because ABC is kind of long. It will give me headed to download. So we'll just do a piece.
Yeah,
So,
peace. We can make a peace meal.
so let's see if we can find something here and talk about it. And it was a very good speech he gave yesterday. Was I think it's one of the best so far I've seen him given. He went to the point and he went for the jackal. He didn't spare anyone. And remember too, we're all in a competition now. So it's competition time. So
Mhm.
he fighting to get a seat. So he threw a lot of jobs as well as everybody. And I think it was a very good speech. So let me see if I can find something here
Yeah,
on the
I
great.
hope that, I think I heard something about the cutlass because the cutlass been training. Maybe that Chapia will go for Chapia next time.
No, I think that was funny though. I heard that
Yeah.
was funny. Yeah, where is the thing? Party somewhere here now. Audience, bear with me a little bit.
Okay.
Is
In the meantime, let me welcome some people and make a couple of announcements. Kennedy Kure, I hope I got your name correct. Uh, 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 Thank you. Kennedy Kure said the speech was one of his best and a very powerful one too. Thank you. At least there is somebody who listened to it. But we'll be going in parts of that speech. Probably it's not going to be in its totality because it was pretty long. But
okay.
next week
Yeah.
Tuesday, um, this program has been coming on at 6 o'clock Liberian time and 7 o'clock UK time and 8 o'clock Central European time. But we are making some changes because we are going to be on the radio in Liberia. Coming
Real
starting next
power.
week. Yeah,
Real power.
Real Power Radio starting next Tuesday. So we'll be on I think nine. We'll be heard in about 9 counties. Paul said, and
Yes.
just to start with, probably who knows, we might go on several radio stations and then we might be spreading all over the place. So next Tuesday, expect us to start at 7 o'clock Liberian time. It's going to be 8 o'clock British time and 9 o'clock Central European time. That means the rest of the European countries in the central region. Okay. So all of Europe does not have the same time. So if you join us next Tuesday, you'll be getting us both on the radio, and those of you who are on the internet, you'll be getting us. So it's good that we'll be in Liberia, at least to spread the message. And and people are already started praising the speech. I didn't listen to it in its totality because what did I do yesterday? Yesterday was holiday. I think I slept. Yeah, I slept half of the day because, you know, um, that's it. Sometimes I like to have it cool and I slept half of the day. But I try to listen though. But Joe Conto is saying that the speech created a clear contrast between Mr. Cummings, GMB, and Mr. Weir. Contrast mean difference. Yeah. And so welcome to you if you're here for the first time. This is the bottom line. My name is Linford Egon Goe. We're here to give you the information we can. Macaulay is actually fighting in Studio B. We have two studios for now. We got Studio 1 here in Norway and then Studio 2 in the UK. So Macaulay is back there doing some work while I'm here. He's going to be coming to us with the speech. And like we said, we'll be dissecting it. And as soon as he said, we'll be going directly into it. And like I was telling Liberians, this is a very crucial election. And nobody should overlook this election. This election is all about yourself, your very self. It's not about the people you're going to elect. No. This election is not about the leaders that you're going to elect. No, it's about yourself. Yourself, your very self. If your name John, it's about John. It's your name. If your name is Yakpalo, it's about you, Yakpalo, not about nobody, about you. Not about the person you love, not about the person who's been there for years, not about the person who came in yesterday, not about the person you know. It's about your very self. What is in there for you? What is in this election for you? Why did you register? I'm talking to you, Liberians. Paul?
Yeah. Well, anyway, let's start with this one here. It's just about little bit of pieces
Yeah,
of his
it'll be
speech
even
so
better
we
when
can
we take
think
a
that's
little bit,
yeah.
bit by
So
bit.
let's go with it.
Time and again about the deep-rooted corruption, stealing, and mismanagement of our government. The lawlessness, mysterious deaths, and murders of human rights in our country. Today, things continue to get worse. Liberians have grown disappointed with the hardship, and friends of Liberia who are trying to help have given up on President Weah and his government. The stealing and corruption by the Weah administration have become so bad that our international partners are no longer just laughing at our country, but they are now seriously worried and scared about giving money to the government for the benefit of the Liberian people.
Like that's one of the speech that he talked about. The stealing have become so bad in Liberia that the US government have to send an ambassador around the country to tell our people that the stealing is extremely bad. So let's look at the other piece that we have here on that.
Told the world about the suffering and neglect of the Liberian people that he saw when he visited our counties. Hospitals are not receiving any of the 100 United States dollars appropriated in 2022 for the operations. He said the blocking of resources to hospitals is so complete that it must be due to the existence of a syndicate involving players at the legislature, the Ministry of Health, and the Ministry of Internal Affairs. As I speak today, our election in October is uncertain because of the lack of money. Government may not pay civil servants. Unfortunately, the hard times will likely get harder. We have some difficult days ahead of our nation. And even worse, we have a president who does not know what to do.
So Linfa, we
Yeah.
have the president. Difficult days are ahead. We have a president who does not know what to do and he does not care, and the country is suffering.
Yeah.
What you make of the little clips that we have before we go to the callers bit?
Suppose just before I go to that clip, let me touch on the first clip. He clearly mentioned about the lawlessness in the country, and then he talked about the mysterious death unaccounted for, and nothing being done to look into those events. And I think this is of concern because the first duty of any elected government and its president is to protect, safeguard the citizens and the country. Because that's why you swear to do, that you swear to protect the country and its people. If you do not protect your citizens, they all perish. Ask yourself, whom are you going to govern? If all of the citizens die, if all of the citizens are in danger, some of them die, some of them run away, and the country remains empty, are you going to govern yourself? So it is your duty as an elected president by the people to protect them. Because at the end of the day, they look up to you. At the end of the day, you also need them. Now, here is President Weah. All of the people who have died mysteriously in the country, it may not be government sanctioned death, but, and somebody may argue that people die everywhere, yes. Or when people die elsewhere, the system goes after the culprits. In some cases, they are arrested immediately. In some cases, it takes years and they'll still be brought down to justice. But in our country, when people die, the president comes, he'll be the first, as if to say he's some security officer or some pathology. He will come and say the people died from They were having sex in the car, they died. Where in the world has any president said that? The same president will come, instead of consoling his citizens, he will say, I don't care for you, you go buy your own CCTV. Even in the Europe and America that people live, everybody does not have CCTV. It is a duty of the government in every major city in Norway, in our big cities. Every high-rise building and even some short buildings, they got the security TV cameras mounted, crisscross, every street corner, pointing. So they got two TV cameras, pointing each other from opposite angles. And then they got the other one to the other street corner. So all four of them meeting at one street corner. So if you commit crime to on the other corner, and then you run into the other corner, they'll say pick you up. So it is a duty of the government to provide all of those things. Then you're telling the poor citizens that do not have job to do not have food to eat, cannot afford to pay house rent, that they should go buy CCTV camera. Amen. So the CCTV camera, they will mount it all in the grass, all behind the house, all behind the bathroom, in the small circle get between the houses in Liberia. This president has failed this morning, and to add insult to injury, this president is overlooking Liberian people and thinking that we are stupid people. And so this is why Liberians are supposed to tell this president at the ballot box that they are not stupid people. Okay, coming to the second bit, where Mr. Comey talked about the lack of drugs at the, on top of drugs, we're not talking about the thing while the children smoking, we're talking about medicine, or let me put it simple, medicine at the various hospitals. This is not Mr. Cummings' word. Mr. Cummings is not accusing George Weah or the government. It is the American ambassador. They were mayor, he come from Liberia, not Liberian. They were mayor in my part, not Liberian people. He come from a different country, he came to work in Liberia. He is the eyeball of the American government. They see American people who can rotate when anything happen. Anything happen, we say, let the international community come, let America come. They see American people, where people selling their houses, their properties, their land, everything in Liberia, just to go to America. That the same people who send a man to come work and he will carry by report in America. He they want to say the money that they put in a budget for hospitals and things, that money not reaching those various hospitals and clinics. And in his word, he said those clinics are there to save life, but they are not receiving the requisite or the kind of thing that they need to work with, because the money is going to other people's pocket, which is called corruption. So Mr. Cummings highlighted that. And how can we get rid of such a government? It is to kick them out. Say we can tie all of them and beat them. We can kick them out. We can beat them at the ballot box.
Yeah, we can beat them at the ballot box. But the thing is, Linford, before we get to the other bit, is some propaganda that the government have been running, and some opposition seems to buy into that propaganda as well. That is, because they are the incumbent, they'll be second round, and the second round could be opposition against the government. This government performing so badly. How on earth somebody that doing bad to you go vote them for them to be in second round? This does not make sense to me at all.
Paul, don't even waste
Let
your
me
time.
finish. It does not make. You now hear the thing say they call landslide,
Go
election.
ahead, go ahead.
You have you heard landslide, election?
Yeah, and I've seen it.
You have seen it. So why when it comes to Liberia, then they'll say that because that the incumbent, they'll go second round. John Major and Tony Blair in the UK here, John Major was Prime Minister. Tony Blair beating landslide because the people didn't like the John Major government. If they hate that government so much, why would they be singing a song? It will be second round. They already predict second round. The people performing badly, you suffering. Then you go vote them in. It does that make sense? It doesn't.
Can I
If
come
they
in now?
performing so badly, they can go with their 38% that they have always been. You can beat them with landslide. So
Can I come in now?
why are they running this propaganda, and it kind of resonating with a lot of people? And I found that fascinating when I hear that.
Listen,
Talk
Paul,
to me.
Muna clip la, just took it from my mom. Thought that free. No, you know what? if we're paying bill to God for talking, no, the whole world will be silent because the nonsense that we can talk most of the time that people can accident talk. If we're paying bill, like how we can pay electricity bill or water bill, the whole world will be silent because some people will be afraid to talk. Let me tell you one thing. No, peak. If you take peak, you put all the list on it, you put eyeglasses on it, you put that thing where the women can put on their head while looking at bow, tie, you put it all, you dress it fine, you carry in the market, it will say, it will not talk different thing, it will say, they talk like P. George, we have made the election so easy for the opposition. The only problem the opposition is having is that everybody is going his own way. Everybody is overly ambitious. Nobody wants to relinquish. And equally so, it is their right. But let me tell you, if there was still something called a CPP, so we are run away from Liberia before election comes.
But Linford, before you conclude, why two opposition can't go into the runner or it must have to be the government?
Why you give me China?
Yeah, because that's the point I'm making.
You're aborting my I try to keep them one for lad and you now boss it God.
Oh, well, I want to know.
Say now open the stomach. Let me go there. Let me go inside the stomach. Georgia have made the election very easy for the opposition. So all the people that are talking, that people who talking to make themselves feel good. Yeah? Let me tell you, if two people fighting in the night, when you hear the punching or the slapping, but the person who talking plenty, hey, I get you that lad, I really want the beating. So all the thing they're talking, they'll go to the second round, Why the guy keep quiet and go to the second round? Let me tell you, if there will be any second round in this election, it will be between two opposition parties. And my biggest guess is that it might be either between UP and CPP, because those are the two front runners. And the reason I'm calling those two parties is that the rest of the other parties might just dissolve into those two parties and will become the biggest. What is CDC depending on? They've already got a case clearly. Let me tell you, even the crazy people.
I mean, I agree with you, Linford, but it's opposition people that are running with the government propaganda as well. With no opposition unity, there'll be second round. The man performing badly, he telling you if he gains second term, he will sell the country.
Then you say the second round they're talking about could be between two oppositions.
But they say opposition saying it will be between the government and UP. A lot of them say that.
Okay, as of today, I'll tell Liberian people that this election is between two oppositions. If there will be any second round, if one opposition does not sweep it from the first round, there will be a second round. It will be between two oppositions. No, because Liberian people are not stupid. I told you, these people know. Liberian people may be silent to talk. They may be quiet. They may be shy. They may be scary. But in a ballot box, when you enter there, it's not you alone. Nobody pointing gun to your head. No security men. You're working in the government who are afraid to act because you lose your job. When you go in that box, nobody, absolutely nobody. You know who to vote for already. You know, you don't need to tell anybody. Be silent. Right. Go and cast your vote. And let the election be won by opposition. That's it. Simple.
Thank you. Because this is a narrative they're supposed to be running with instead of helping the government to push their thing here. Be, government against it. Because the guys don't buy. You gave them the other chance for another time. That one. Even the Doka Flare, the stake that they used to hold Doka Flare, they were selling. They're telling you, give us second term, we'll sell Liberia. They made it plain blank. So if you put them back there, you won't change. So let be your opposition fight. You get, you got three opposition strong leaders in the race.
Yeah, when we come back to the opposition too, you see, not because we're all in the opposition, but not also. Georgia had damaged the country, but UP was there for 12 years. They did similar thing.
So don't rush the thing here. We in a situation, we in a tournament. This is a tournament for anyone to win. So me and you playing football, and I won't get you out of. I will eat your boom body to get you out of the field. So this is a situation. So before we come to you, Mr. Coming through a job yesterday, and that little bit, something caught my heart, and he was trying to talk about economic, that his strength. And the analogy he gave, yeah, our listener listen to this little bit and then give our feedback on this. So let me bring
Rudy,
this
I didn't
out
listen to
again.
that part yesterday. Let me hear it.
A wise old man told me that when hunger is taking over a village, to give the only cutlass to one's grandfather and the oldest man in the village to go make a farm because he has experience in making farms is to agree to let the village people die from starvation.
You heard that? Let me see if I can play this again.
Yeah, play again.
A wise old man told me that when hunger is taking over a village, to give the only cutlass to one's grandfather and the oldest man in the village to go make a farm because he has experience in making farms is to agree to let the village people die from starvation.
Right. That is
This one
statement.
is deep. This one is deep.
No, I mean I see the logic in this. The country in a serious crisis in terms of economics, the in a serious economic crisis. No jobs, and you get a handful of people that have the few jobs and they also stealing. Now, this thing what Mr. Cummings said that every time they keep saying he does not have government experience. But the government experience in Liberia, you must know how to steal, then you have experience. But if that's the set of government experience he does not have, that means he does not have government experience in Liberia. So now, when he threw this job, the situation in Liberia, the country, he put it in a context like of in a little village that everybody in a village are starving. I mean, the entire Liberia is starving. Then one old man sitting now in a village because the old man been farming for 42, 43, 45, for 50 years. He get farm experience. He know how to cut all that, but he's old. But the guy only one machete, colors in the village. Now they leave the other because everything come with later. When you're 20-year old, you begin 30, 40, 50 before you go to 60 and 70. So by the 80-year-old man who have experience behind him, there's a younger person who's 60 that have more strength and energy than him. And that's the reality in life. So this man, his speed will be faster than a man who 90 years old. So he said, if you get a college to the 90-year-old man, the time he take to cut one little bush, the whole country will die with hunger. So he gave it to the one who have that other speed because of experience. He's not going to give it to the young boy who fast can run, but the one that get the other speed, he know how to cut the wood this way, that way, for the plant to grow faster, for everybody to eat. So that's the thing you're giving. So if you take the old wise men that don't have the strength, that means the country will perish. So talk to me. I don't know how you understand it.
You finish?
I finished.
Thank you. I come from Pong County, Upper Pong County, Inkpai District, the largest district in Pong County. My grandfather, from my mother's side, used to have this, organize this thing they call coup in Pele, meaning group of people who go to work on your farm, then next day they work on the next man's farm like that. My grandfather was old. He was young when he organized this thing, and when he grew up and he got old. But he stays to organize every year. I was a very little small boy. My grandfather was a very good hunter. Every night I met when he bush, he would kill one or two different type of animals. Then he used to set water fence. Then this old man used to make palm wine. I remember the old man would carry me, we clear the palm wine. When we clear the palm wine, that means he would drag the animal that he killed and lay around the road. Then we'll be coming a small boy. Yeah, I remember I was small, but I don't know how old I was. Maybe between 7, 8 years. You give me that big, and that big power container. I'll hold it. They go. When that plastic container, the country go. I'll hold it. I remember I bought one time. So I'll be holding it. Now when we come into the place where you kill an animal, then you take an animal and put it on your shoulder. We carry it to the if the coup is on your farm, we carry it there. Oh, it doesn't care. It doesn't matter whose farm the coup is. That animal for that person for that day. That's what my old man was doing. That was his no work to do. Because the young people say he is old, he cannot work faster like they do.
Yeah.
I grew up at the age of 14 years. No, age of 11 years, 1974. Yes, age of 11 years, 1974. I joined my first school that was to scratch the farm. So, 11 years, can you imagine how active 11-year child is? We're a group of children. So, we used to work faster. Even though we're not doing it correctly, but also our speed was very fast. So I remember we went to scratch for farm, and the bloody old people were among them. So we used to work faster, scratch faster more than them. Why? Because we stay young. But the point I'm trying to make here is that when I started to do those things, somebody had to teach me. I had to do it, to learn, to get our experience, right? I had to learn it. So nobody in this world is born with experience. Even we that went to the ordinary white man school, we had to start learning ABC from start before we got to master it. When we go to school, we don't learn experience from there. You graduate, your first job is where you get experience from. So for people to say because you don't have experience, you can't work, no. Somebody just had to get experience from somewhere. Now, there's the analogy about the old man. And I just told you about my grandfather. So, say my grandfather was old, he couldn't work fast. They gave the opportunity to the young people to do the work. Why is it that in the interior, when your grandfather is old, he will allow you to start making farm? Because he cannot make it anymore. And the reason why...
So there's one colors. That because it could be many colors in a place, but one
they were not even, let me tell you, whether that 100 colors is, but that one color, it even worse to take that one color and give it to the old man because the old man will not do anything.
Exactly.
So you give it to the young boy who will be able to save the whole nation, the whole village.
But wait, this is the comparison here is you can give it to an 11-year, 16-year-old, even 20-year-old boy. But the one who is 40-year-old among them that been seeing the old man doing that thing for long, he has his own way of doing it faster without any speed.
Thank you.
That's what I want.
If you give it to an 11-year-old, like how our 11-year-old I started my first school, like I told you, we used to work fast, but we're not doing it correctly.
Exactly.
When we finish scratching the fire, you go there, next day, all the grass now wake up. Even though we work fast. So we were still learning. We didn't have that experience. Or we know our anxiety. And so compare George Weah. George Weah is like the 11-year-old. We get a big tax too, but you cannot make it. So you give it to the person who is next to the old man. Then the old man is 60 or 80. So the person who is between 60, 70, or 50 or 40, in between there, because he had been doing it for 11 years old all the way to that time. He got experience. Even if he had not practiced it, but he's seeing the old man do it all the time. Okay? And experience is not only hands-on. Experience is sometimes you look at people, how people do things. Some people listen to music. It's not they made a music, but they just listen to the music, they start singing it. That's experience. You can observe.
So Linford, this analogy here, the country is deeply in trouble.
It needs to be
saved. The country is in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And Mr. Cummings is saying something here that Liberians need to pay key attention to. This is my area that I can fix it because that's what I've been doing all my life.
Yeah.
So George Weah area is to kick football, which he good at. That's his area. Even George Weah today, he's not president, but put him on the football field, he will not run. But as the old man, you can see that But the one who behind George Weah, 30 years behind him, would know, say, I've been watching George Weah for long, I can do the same thing.
That's
So
fine.
the old man, uno area, agriculture is to plant tree to grow cassava, all that I uno area. But then the other side is where we need money. And that money, that where comes Mr. Cummings. People need money to go into their pocket. They need jobs.
But
This is my area.
let me
And
let me
this
let,
is
let me tell a Liberian people something. Where Liberia is now, I saw something trending on the internet where people gave nickname to Mr. Cummings as the fixer.
good.
Liberia is totally damaged. Hmm? I see people calling TMB Rescue One. You can't rescue anything that is damaged. No.
And
Say,
how will he rescue it?
yeah. Say, if an earthquake takes place, hmm? If an earthquake takes place, all the building break down. How are you going to rescue the buildings? They are damaged. So what you need to do is to fix it. So Mr. Cummings is the fixer. Liberia, where Liberia is now, Liberia does not need anything like rescuing. Liberia is damaged. You need to fix it. Liberia needs a manager. Liberia is not a country where you need president, where the president will come to
Right.
preside. Liberia
Great.
needs management. You need to manage this damaged infrastructure. Okay? So I hear people say, oh, rescue, rescue. You can only rescue something that is stranded or something that is somewhere stuck somewhere, but not something that is totally damaged. So Liberia is damaged. It needs to be fixed. If your wash is damaged, you can rescue it. You can fix it. But if your wash drop, maybe it drop in the hole, you can rescue it by picking it up because it stay in tight. But now when the car mash your watch, then you say you go rescue it. No, it's damaged. You can either fix it.
And the person who talking about rescue here, this is the person that been part and parcel of the
Of the
bar system.
that damaged the system.
So how the system that you work in since tournament time and you serve the highest seat for 12 years on Erling, you fix it. You put it in that gear. But now it gone to the younger man who was learning how to brush on you because he served on him in the Senate. He learned it good. You give it to him. He now damaged it more. You too, you in a system, you spoil it. You give it to another person who make it worse. Somebody come from us. I said, no, I'm the fixer here. I can fix the thing because this is where I specialize in. That's the message he giving to Liberians. Give me the opportunity, you will have a different Liberia. It's not about the how they call it, the experience in Liberia that when I work with water and sewer for 20 years, I have not done nothing but just to steal from water and sewer and build a mansion. Then I come back and say I have experience. This is not about time. So give it to the fixer. Yeah, he fix it. This is what we need. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, and so let's say welcome to Jerome Gawe. He's one of our newer viewers. Jerome, so share the video. We're going to be on here next week, Tuesday at 7 o'clock Liberian time. And Muna Klipla was asking what time would that be in Minnesota? If Minnesota is in the Midwest or on the East Coast, I know Minnesota is not in the East
Probably
Coast.
could be 2
Yeah, so
o'clock,
it'll be
3
2
o'clock
o'clock.
that time.
Yeah,
Maybe
between 2
you
and
can
3
check it
Muna
out.
Klipla, so it'll be that time. But before we come on, we'll do a little advert and then people will know. But
And let me just add something to that too. Will be on air in Liberia starting from next Tuesday. Will be on Real Power radio station FM. It's covered 9 counties. Will be on. So, this somebody will say Central Time.
yeah,
So
Muna
that's
I say Central Time. So
right.
but Muna, just do your calculation between Liberian time and your Central Time, then you'll know the difference. Because it will
So
be
for,
7
for
o'clock
those
Liberian time.
who for those who are following on, we also have Bottom Line online radio. You can download the app. It's 24 hours there. Sometimes I'm on there as one of the DJ. We play music. We talk about Liberia. So you can download. You can find us also on My Tuning. We're also there. Twitter, Instagram. We all over the place. So help
And
us share our
right now we are
show
on the online radio that Paul is talking about, and we are on YouTube as well.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
So
So
go
let
ahead,
me let me
Linford.
touch let me touch that bit about what you're talking about Mr. Comey being the fixer, And I hear people make this argument, oh, Comey comes from Coca-Cola, and government, the corporate world is different from government. And they make it to sound as if to say management in corporate world and management in government they are two different things. No, management is management. You can even manage your own house, your family in the house, your resources in your house. Once you handle it correctly, that's management. A good president could be a good manager. Hmm? A good president could be a good manager. So they say, oh, Coca-Cola system was already set before Mr. Cummings went there. Fine, I don't doubt it. Coca-Cola was existing years before they employed Mr. Cummings. But if a bad manager goes somewhere with bad managerial skill, what happens to that entity? Whether it was a good entity, that bad manager will break it down. But Mr. Comey, on the other side, did not break down Coca-Cola. He rather elevated it and increased the budget. So how funny can somebody think that because Coca-Cola is a system and they employ Mr. Comey, so you're just saying that we hate her and the company will just grow by itself? Ask yourself, there have been big businesses in the world that have broken down. They were a good system, but because of bad management, they are broken down. So look at that comparison. So why would you say Coca-Cola was a place it was already settled, the system was running, and Mr. Cummings went there? No. If he was a bad manager, he would have broken it down. But he elevated it. That they even sent him outside to build other systems for Coca-Cola. See, so Mr. Cummings has the know-how. And let me put it raw to you. Mr. Cummings can talk to companies. They will come to Liberia. Omen Bwaka does not have that contact. He's been government in Liberia for years. The government in Liberia does not have that contact outside. Okay, that's why government need lobbyists. And so, Paul, go ahead. I think our time is fast spent. We're going to be on the radio for 1 hour and 30 minutes, so we'll try to operate in that time now. We're trying to practice to see if we can fit. Sometimes we'll sit there and start to talk, it becomes interesting, and then the time go and we don't notice it. So, Paul, anything you
Yeah.
have for us
Let me
today?
let me just add a little flavor on that. On our way to Sweden, and a friend of mine told me this story that
Hmm.
he never heard the name Mr. Cummings. He was on a flight from the Gambia to London, and this woman asked him, "Where you from?" He said, "I'm from Liberia, but I'm heading to the UK." And the woman said, "Oh, my son is very fond of Mr. Cummings." And then he went and said, "Who is Mr. Cummings?" This woman went and opened a Time magazine and showed him. And this guy read about Alexander Cummings said, "Wow, I didn't know he was a Liberian." And this was before he came to the race. And he said, the woman told him, said, "My son, Mr. Cummings is his role model." She came from the Gambia. So when he came back to London, he read about Mr. Cummings. And he said, "Wow, we didn't know that Liberians are up there." So when he was at work doing things, he's a clergyman. They were having conference, and this program was going on. Mr. Cummings, he was on Facebook. Then he told his friends to watch it. He said, "But who is this man?" His colleague in Australia went and Google come and said, "Wow, Liberia must be blessed to have this kind of person contesting for the presidency." Why is he that the white people, if this man can be chairman of the board of Chevron, you live in the West, I live in the West, even cleaning job to become supervisor is hard. For this guy to excel from Liberia up there, most Liberians don't see the reason why. We need to give Mr. Cummings a chance. He always said he does not want a dime. If they pay him, you give it to charity. This is the Liberia that we're looking for somebody to put it in gear one. And I think it's Mr. Cummings at the time that we need to give him that opportunity to do it. We cannot be going back to the past every day, the same old story. Amen. So let's flow with
And
it.
one last bit on what he just said.
Yeah.
Let me remind Liberians about the thing we call who knows you. Who knows in Liberia? Paul know me, Paul and myself been friends. So when Paul get small joy, plenty people go there and say, but who that? And I didn't for you tell him for the kind of that no who know you. And where men can do a same thing. Where men knows who know you more than us. We all are live in a women country. You and the white children go to school when you graduate, you'll get a same degree. They'll get a children a job first before they call you for interview.
That's
The
right.
same way, Mr. Cumming, who came from Liberia from way down, Fiamma, Point 4, and rose to the top. Yeah, oh yeah, we're working, but the biggest you can get is maybe they ask more money to your money, they promote you small and ask more money to your money. But to pull you way to the top, it's hard in a women country. So Mr. Cumming rose to that point. Now, Mr. Cumming is retired honorably. They didn't sack him, they didn't dismiss him, nothing. He went home. So tell me, if Mr. Cumming becomes president and he comes out to lobby for job from companies called investors in the country, they will first of all ask, who is this man? Who are you? I'm Alexander
But
Cummings. Go Google
Linford,
me.
imagine that man is a chairman of board or Chevron. Think on it.
Yeah. Wait, like people don't really understand that thing, so you got to break it down for them. So they may, let me put it like one way. They may, he went in the women country, the women know him. We all human beings can do who know you. So the white man, he become president, then you come to the white people country, say, my people suffering. All the joy you get here, you're paying high taxes here. My country, your country, my people need job. They say, but who are you? They say, my name is Alexander Cummings. What did you not do before? Who know you? He say, you know me. I work for Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola, I want a bigger country everywhere in the world. I think I only one or two countries in the world where Coca-Cola is that because they are doing something for some reason. Okay, and they so thing. Then the white people go online when they check. They say, "Oh, you mean you? Yeah." So what you want us to do? I want you to come to my country. My country is safe, security. When you come, no problem. Your business will run good. You'll get good workers. The people will listen to him compared to one Japalo who even know Ivory Coast, he get no contact also. When you're taking one local child, you and then you'll just be the small money you collect from taxes, that one you'll be fighting over in our country. But we talk about somebody who will bring job, who will go bring plenty of company in a country. All your children, all the Zogo they will get. We need Zogo. If the people working, you think who told you we can be Zogo in Europe or in America? But because we're working, more you get a small thing. So what are you going to be Zogo for? Why are you going to piece on my pocket and they be you or kill you or point you? When you can go to work, plenty job there. You know, when I used to go to, every time I go to America, I can laugh. In Texas, in Houston, where my family is, they got a small newspaper, I don't know what it's in all states, they call it the green sheet. When you take that social job from A to Z, social job, all the job that start with A to B to all the way to Z. So I used to laugh, I said, but the only job that I in a here, that president job, you get every job there, you see, and people that actually apply for those jobs. The jobs are plenty. People that apply for it. I used to just play for them because I get right to work in America. I'll call. They say, okay, sir, can you come for interview tomorrow? I say, yeah, okay, I will not go. You see? So to show you that jobs can be plenty. And then you not see Zogo. Anybody want to be Zogo, anybody who want to be raw, they'll be raw because they want to be, not because they don't have a job. Thank you,
Yeah.
Paul. Do what you
Yeah,
want to do
so
now.
before
I
we
don't follow them.
conclude,
If the people get here
just
to
to
hear.
tell our viewers, we got a new page, and the old page, for some reason, CDC and UP have hacked our page, so we cannot get into it anymore. We created a new one, this one more security. Please follow us, like it, and share it in your group. And what I want to add to that, Linford, before we close out, you see, when George Weah took over, when he invited his friends,
Mhm.
Adebayo, Didier Draper, they are all footballers. Somebody who gone to that higher level, his cycles of friends,
Not
Liberians not
footballers.
thinking. They're not thinking. And this man, apart from being Coca-Cola when he retired, he served on many boards. You see, Mr. Cumming always in America, that board meeting.
About
So all
7
the
boats.
boards that he served on, he gave advice to oil company, other big companies around the world. If you remember last year, you're in Italy, some Jewish people had some meeting. He was the only black man among them. Liberians cannot think and see, and this guy must go number 2 to
They
somebody
say
who
our
know a
minds are made up.
system
Our
that been
minds are made up to
stealing
suffer.
for 176 years or system that people been stealing from, that all they know, he must go be number 2. Something must be wrong with us. This man telling you, give me the opportunity, will make the environment friendly. You always see that my own friends that will come here, there will be plenty of jobs. The moment Mr. Cummings talk about, I will start with ecotourism. Who ran with it? Boom, Unity Party grab it. They started running with this song. It's part of their plan. The next thing, Joy Howard grabbed it. She went to Bond County and get some kind of contract with one woman. They have the thing they call Patawi now. They start putting hot for people to go there. What was that idea? They didn't think of it. So that man just gave little bit idea, they running with it. So what would be the other things that he have in his sleeve? He said, give me the opportunity. There'll be many jobs in Liberia and will not depend on government. And people still not seeing reason. We really need to educate our people on why this time that somebody who have not been stealing from the people give that person the opportunity, yet have a better Liberia for our children and our grandchildren, for our young girls to start sleeping with old people for money. This is why we're pushing Mr. Cummings to take this country and put it in gear 1. So, Linford, back to you.
Okay. My final thing to tell the Liberian people tonight is, are you hearing me well?
Hearing you loud and clear.
Good. The final thing I have to tell the Liberian people tonight is, if you miss this opportunity and elect any other person, worst of all, George Weah, you will cry for the next 6 years. But in case you don't elect George Weah, you elect any other person, Unity Party, let me put it that way. Because that man you say, you know, that man who been with you for 42 years, you elect Unity Party. If you don't come back, Liberian people, if you don't come back just after 1 year and say, oh, George Weah government was good, anyway I pass, you'll call me differently. Elect Unity Party. If you do not come back, Liberians, in 1.5 years' time, and say George Weah government was good, anywhere you go, or anywhere you see me, call me differently. Mr. Cummings will open the opportunity. He's not magician. He's not King Maris that got a Maris touch. No. But he will open the opportunity. He can talk to those companies or even smaller companies and come and beg them to come and bring job for you, the people. Because the thing here is that, when you clearly see it and you act like you don't see it, for me, it's funny. I try to imagine what kind of people are we. But again, they say the child that can hear, move from there. The guy only hear, never mind. The child, you say, move from there. He say, no. When he fall down, he say, no, man, yeah. He say, yeah. That's the same thing with Liberian. George Weah, 2017, we cried, the same cried. We talk. The people say that the ball won. The ball get the country in your heart. And today, the country lack up in the mayor heart. Yeah, the mayor coming flat to London again. And where are you people? Here you stay there, and you're crying, you can't pay because you didn't hear. The same way you say the mayor been off for a year, and you can't show anything in that 45-year-old. Then somebody will say, where do you come in for Liberia? The mayor you voted for, where he did for you?
Yeah.
So, but again, a level of you people, nobody will be able to open your brain to put sense there. God has given each and every one of us our own thinking. It's level for us how we think and how we use our thinking to benefit us or to plunge us into the problems that we will not like. But on that note, I'd like to say welcome or thank you to all of our viewers. Oh, my sister Merula Mo just coming. But we say thank you to all of our viewers, Mona, Joe, Lucretia, and all of our new viewers today. Join us next week. We'll be here same time. And as Paul said, we'll be on the radio in Liberia. So for you Liberian people, you don't need to burn your data. All you need to do is you tune into Real FM, and then we'll be on your dial. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Before you go, let me see if I can get a little flyer. On the 27th of May, the week on the 27th of May.
Yeah.
The UK will be having the ANC UK is actually having a meet and greet in a park where a lot of people from all around Europe will be coming. It's a little fundraiser for the election that UK have taken some lead, and then on the 9th, the weekend of the 9th in June will be in Norway, and then the 30th of June we will be in Sweden and hosting Mr. Cummings and some of the ANC hierarchy in Sweden. So the flyers will be up. The UK flyer up will be posting that also, and we'll share all of this on our bottom line page that people in the area, the nearby countries, they can join us. It will be a big celebration here in the UK, and then we'll move to Norway, and then it will climax in Sweden, in Stockholm. Yeah.
Thank you.
So
close
so
us
on
up.
that note, yeah. Okay. Yes. So Linford, what can we go home with? Our president have decided to visit the UK. Maybe I might have some sort of invitation to go and see him. You never know. He, my old friend, we played football together before. We will hang up. Maybe he'll get versed with me. But however, we all support different people. So I want to say to our audience, thanks for being with us all the time. Just share our new platform to your various chat rooms so we can build up. But next week at this time will be 4 blacks in Liberia. We'll make the case for Mr. Cummings, and we're going to start on Tuesday with additional day, maybe the weekend, but we announce that. So yes, we'll educate our people. So on this note, I will say goodbye, and then I'll play the other music that we can talk. Oh, I think Linford love that one.
Yeah, man, I love it. Man can talk. Man can talk.
Man can talk also.
Yeah, man can talk.
And we got to talk about Man Can Talk on Friday.
Yeah.
So good night to everybody. We'll leave you with this Man Can Talk all.
Man can talk all. Yeah, sometimes, yeah. Amen. Man can talk all. Yeah, man can talk all. Man can talk all. Walker, man can talk all. Man can talk all.
Switch it up, baby.
Yeah. Man can talk all. Man can talk all. Amen. Man can talk all. Walker, man can talk all. Man can talk all. Man can talk all. Man can talk all. Amen. Man can talk all. Walker, man can talk all. Man can talk all.
Let me read for you. I get read. Let me read for you. Let me got me senator read for you. A read does. A constituent pastor.
Yeah.
Man can talk all. Man can talk all. Amen. Man can talk all. Walker, man can talk all. Man can talk all. Man can talk all. Man can talk all. Amen. Man can talk all. Walker, man can talk all. Man can talk all.
Everything Omamage have done is with the consent and with their acquiescence. That's the correct English, right?
Go and ask your grandfather. You say you like that?
Man can talk all. Man can talk all. Amen. Man can talk all. Walker, man can talk all. Man can talk all. Man can talk all. Man can talk all.